How about both of you? Can you just share a little bit about like how this whole, artificial intelligence wave has been hitting you? Are you, and then also share like one, two, or three. One being like this is all new stuff. Two is like you're using it kind of a little bit every day. And three, like, oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and you're like really in it. So whoever wants to go first can share.
I could go first if you want. I'm at a 2.5 because I've been at first I was just like, oh my God, AI is gonna take over, human connection is gonna be gone, everyone's gonna turn into like Ready Player One. Have you seen that movie? And then eventually something just hit me one day and I was just like, you know what? I'm already using technology, right? Like things like devices that help us heal, like red light, spectrum, like basically all these other things. And now there's like devices that can literally read your energy levels and emotions, right? I was like, these things we could use to support more natural ways of healing, right? Not where one particular category and they're another, right? Like we want to be able to learn how to collaborate with each other and support each other so that we're not in competition, right? So I think it was changing my mindset around it. And I'm pretty sure it hit me for a reason because I was just like, damn, this shit could be really helpful, right? Because that's why I feel like I personally, and also just working with a lot of different entrepreneurs, we get stuck in certain places, or at least there's a pause because we're out doing everything, right? Versus, now we can actually cut some of the costs by using things like AI to help. And then, I mean, not to take away from other jobs, I'm sure other jobs could be created, right? But we can also create jobs around that
Yeah,
because I wouldn't just,
exactly.
I don't want to be the one talking to the AI. You know what I mean? I know exactly what I want to say. I want to know exactly how it works, right? So I have taken classes. But at the end of the day, I want someone who's going to be a master at that particular area to take care of that, know how to work with it, and then, like move forward from there and just kind of put all the pieces together and connect everybody and create like a big hub around that, right? So I think that it could definitely complement in a lot of areas, and it's made my job a lot easier. I literally created a petition for one of the gyms that I was part of because there was a lot going on in there. I was like, damn, I literally just told AI, this is how I want it to sound. Can you come from a more like, inspiring, heartfelt, but also concerned place? And then boom, it gave me a whole ass petition with all the issues and everything. And I was like, oh, great. I really don't got to do anything but edit it to the way that I would do it, just like here and there, right? So yeah, it's been very, very helpful. And I definitely feel like there is this is pretty much the future, and there is all in me being in the trying to revolutionize the future of medicine, put those two things together, right? Like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health, right? I think at that point it's a no-brainer, So yeah, I see a lot of potential, but things are already moving really, really fast. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with AI.
Wait, how and for you?
Um, I don't have a lot of experience. I think just use a couple time, ChatGPT, oh yeah, we were creating, like, working with my team on, nonprofit, like a vision statement or something like that. We wrote already, and then he used, ChatGPT to edit it and stuff like that. So I'll come up with a few other version, and then that was very helpful. And then we were thinking about an event that we want to create, and then he went to ChatGPT, and then he lay out the whole event for us. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then we had to translate to Chinese a lot of our work. So he did the ChatGPT translation. It came out, oh, it's not that great. Then he went to DeepSeek, and then he translate. And then it's like, wow, that translation was so spot on. That so it's like, oh, okay. So now I start to get pulled into use it. The need to use it, but used to, if I count all the hour it takes me to create an event, to then to translate, I was like, that is a good 10 hours. So I was like, oh wow, now cut to even less than an hour. So hey, why not? So
That's actually
I
really smart when you like basically translated it into different platforms because DeepSeek is actually a China rooted company, right?
correct.
And I did that with math because I wanted to see which math was correct. And then it gave similar answers, but I think it just depends on you have to know like what each app would be good for based off of their culture, right? And intelligence and with how they put it. So yeah, that's interesting.
we're going to go through that today too. It's beautiful. Thank you both for sharing that. And what I loved about what both of you have said, way how you mentioned about using two apps, right, for that workflow, using ChatGPT for for like event stuff, and then when, then translation using DeepSeek, right? And so you're learning that like this artificial intelligence space, it's agnostic to the platform. It's just this wave, right? And so I'm going to learn how we can use different ones together to, again, just accomplish a task, right? And Carmen, I love that. Yeah, you're saving a lot of hours, right? And that this is really meant to augment what we can do, right? At the end of it, how you've got to put on the event with real humans, right? Carmen, you've got to do the work and you've got to interface with real humans. So, but this is really meant to like augment what we do. Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna jump right in. Well, I'm gonna share my screen. All right. So, welcome to our community. We're gonna learn about creating your custom GPT to accelerate your workflow. All right. First, kind of introductions. So what is just to take a quick step back, we're gonna go into just what is a large language model, right? So a large language model, basically it's fancy words, but it's basically what a ChatGPT is, or what DeepSeek is, or what Manus is, or all these ones that are coming up. It's a digital. Basically, look at this as a digital team member who has read millions of books, articles, and conversations, and can help you think, write, plan, and communicate faster. Right? It doesn't know like a human, but it's trained to understand language really well. So when you give it a prompt like writing a donor email, planning a workshop, or organizing your ideas, it gives you thoughtful responses in seconds. Right? So think of it as a strategic partner, thought partner, and Carmen, like you said earlier, it is the future. When I was in India last year, it was eye-opening, guys. Like this city that I was in is kind of like a Sacramento to a San Francisco. The startup culture was booming. I rented a space in a co-working space. Everyone there was 25 to 40. The rate of AI adoption is like 3x in this like next generation. One of the large language models, Claude, you might be familiar with, is now working with, I think, schools in like 10 different states to like provide like to teach teachers how to use these tools, to teach students how to use them responsibly and like for what they're designed. Like it's just incredible, right? So really it is here to like augment all of us, right? Said a different way, like it's a super smart robot friend that read millions of books, can help you write, learn, or that best friend, and answer questions anytime you need, right? And you can train it as well. So on the free account, real quick, I know, how you've got the free account, right? ChatGPT. Carmen, do you have the free or the pro account?
I'm gonna sign up for the was it the nonprofit one as a team?
Yeah, that's like the 200 a month one.
I don't know. I think it was $20.
Yeah, there's a pro that's 20 and there's a
Mhm.
plus that's 200.
Under the nonprofit.
I don't know about the nonprofit pricing, but I paid 20 bucks a month.
Yeah, I think there's a nonprofit one through TechSoup. You could register your nonprofit and you get a bunch of discounts. It's not just ChatGPT, it's like a whole list of different, I haven't
Wow.
signed up yet because I haven't really used it, but then I do use the regular ChatGPT and then I'll go to DeepSeek and then,
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I'd love to learn more. If you have a link for that, feel free to share. Okay, so next we're going to go into a little bit, and I just want to lay this foundation for both of you because I don't know how much. So, Carmen, you've got a 2.5 on a 3 scale. How you're probably like a 2, but some of these basic prompting
Mhm.
suggestions will really help refine your output in less steps as you move forward, right? So,
Mhm.
oops, I forgot to remove the bottom part, the lorem ipsum part, but basically, prompting has 3 key components. The role, right? Like, what role are you giving this query in this chat? A little bit of context. What's happening, right? What is it helping you with? What are you working on? And being as specific as possible. And then the instruction or the task. I need, right? So this is kind of how you want to structure a basic prompt. So a couple of use cases, like a grant writing use case, right? You are my expert grant writer. I am working, sorry, forgive the typos here. I am working on a grant for the Centene Foundation. Their parameters are, and what you can do is like, so this in the use of writing a grant, you can look at the grant program or grant requirement, right? Go to another line break and in quotations, put the whole grant requirement in there, right? So I'm working on this. Help me answer the following. So one of the grant questions that we get is, describe your project, right? And so then I'll just help me answer the following, second reference point, which is a question, and it'll like go through, right? Both of those those different input points and give me an output. Okay, that makes sense. Here's another use case. So let's say there's a copy editing use case. So and this is great for, again, if you want to play around with like humanizing and tone, and if English is not your first like primary language. So you are my expert copy editor. I'm working on an email to a number of contacts. Some of them are close friends and some of them are new friends. Help me craft an email and humanize it, and ask me any clarifying questions to help you give me the best answer. Right. So a couple things here is the word humanize will actually give it like a softer tone. And so that usually works. And then, this is often what I like this. One of the things that I think is so powerful about all these LLMs is it gets you past the blank page. But what if you don't know what you don't know? Like, what if there are certain sets of questions or inquiries that like you didn't know to think to ask, but like you're now asking it to think through what questions it can ask you. So your answers it can use in a more refined output that you want. That makes sense? Right. So let me know. Oh, wait, how you're on mute. Let me know if this is new or yep.
Do they have a place that you write down your role, context, and action?
Yeah, so you want to structure your prompt like this. So like when you're prompting, let's say ChatGPT for something, right? You want to assign what it is that you want it to do, right? So and then you want to tell it what your goal, like what's the situation going on right now that we're working through, and then like what is the outcome that you want. So the more clear the question, I don't know if I hope I'm answering your question. The more kind of refined the output.
Okay.
That makes sense? Did I answer your question?
No,
I don't think I
yeah.
did.
You
Can
mean
you give
they
me an
have a blank space? I just write these three things for them, right?
I'm sorry?
They have a blank space. I just write these three things
Who they?
at the ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. So let me give you an example. Yeah. So in that space, I mean, you want to fill in, what's in the brackets that's pertaining to what you're working on.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. This is the formula. Yep.
Okay.
So a couple of tips, right? Be specific. You can even add tonality. So something, I didn't do here is, I said humanize it. Here at the action, I can say, speak as if you were, write it as if you're talking to a friend. I'm talking to my friend over coffee, right? So you can also add tonality to it, right? So there's an example, right, in a caring tone, right? An example of context is I'm a teacher planning a workshop, right? So for both of you, like for Weihao, you would say, I'm working on a fill in the blank. I'm a director of a nonprofit called, give it the name that you're part of. What we do is, this is just like your mission vision, and then what you want it to do. And it'll start inferring things from that.
Okay.
Okay, so I think so. Since you both have the free account, I'm going to show you something. And I think you both have this, but let me walk you through it first, and then you can actually do this. We're going to do it on the call today. So actually, in the free account, I think also, so two things. On the free account, so you can customize, you can give some basic instructions to your ChatGPT account, right? So you have like now your ChatGPT buddy, and you can give it some instructions, basic instructions, which we'll go into in a minute. When you create a custom GPT, so at some point, Carmen, if you do decide to go the paid route, I know how DeepSeek works better for your workflow right now, but you're still, get a lot. In the pro account, you can create GPTs that are custom to an organization. And I'll cover a little bit about that, a little bit later. And then that basically becomes like your organizational baby. So if like let's say the three of us were in a nonprofit or a for-profit company, and warehouse finance and your social media and I'm operations, we could basically create a custom GPT. We could ask it all, train it in like our organizational data, and ask it all these questions related to just our thing. And the more questions we ask it, the more this like baby is growing based on, the questions that we're all asking, if that makes sense, which is super, super cool. So, all right. So, okay. So
Wait,
in your,
is this for the paid version? That's what you could customize the ChatGPT, or
no, this particular is actually in the free version. This customized
oh,
GPT, I should have circled it. So
okay.
right now, if you're able to open up ChatGPT in a new window.
Okay, I see. So it has suggestions basically.
Yeah. So well, here, let's break it down. Do you see this custom ChatGPT option?
Let me see. Pull it up. I usually just well, this is good. At least there's a prompt for the prompting. And okay.
And then Weihao, on your end, do you see this if you were to open up ChatGPT in a window?
Where is that at? Oh wait, let me do
It should be
something.
right by your icon on the upper right side.
Upper right side. I mean, it just opens to where I could type. Oh, you mean I see.
Like the icon.
Is it the training?
So what do you see? What options do you see?
I see there's an eye, and then there's a left side that's a menu,
Yep.
and then
Do you see your image in the upper right corner?
mm-mm.
Hmm.
Well, I think I mean, I'm signed in. I don't know where it is though. Let me see. Let me
Okay.
just screenshot that and
Here we
send
can.
it to the chat so you can see. Actually, can you see a
Oh,
picture?
yeah, actually,
There you go.
okay. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you both can see my screen now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in the upper right corner here, this icon, do you see this icon? Do you see these, any of these options there?
No, I think maybe. I mean, you're on the website, right?
Yes.
I'm on the app, so maybe it's different.
Oh,
Because
so you're
where
on the phone.
yeah, I'm on the phone. So my
Oh,
chat, I just screenshotted and put it in the chat what my screen looks like. But basically, I'm sure it's there though. If it's in the free version, I just haven't gone onto that website because then
oh,
it
so
just took
you
me directly to the app.
Okay, so you can access this only on the website, only on the
Oh, okay.
desktop browser.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
Wayhow, if you are you able to take a moment to open up ChatGPT in a new window and let me know when you've done that?
Yeah.
You did that. Now, do you see your icon in the upper right corner, like mine?
Yeah.
Okay, click on the icon. What options do you see?
Explore GPT, customize chat GPT setting, upgrade
Cool
Excellent.
one.
plan, block up.
Excellent. Click on customized ChatGPT.
What should chat GPT call you?
All right, awesome, perfect. You're exactly where we want you to be. So this is now I'm going to share my kind of the slides. So what's cool is you can personalize this at least at the level of like your free ChatGPT code buddy. So way how you could call it. So like for me, in my case, I say call it Parth. So what do you do? So I said I'm a director of the Million Mask Movement at the Ever Forward Club. And then the last is what traits should ChatGPT have? They write things in a kind and caring way. So how if you want to right now, and you can always change this, right, by going to ChatGPT, customize ChatGPT. But if you want to take a minute, just quick minute right now, and tell it, like fill it in. What should ChatGPT call you? Put Wayhow, or you could say, a champion of possibilities. It could be anything you want it to call you. And then a quick thing on what you do, and then some examples of what traits should GPT have is, write things in a kind and caring way, as I have it. Write things in summarize things in 5 to 10 bullet points so they're easy for me to digest. Anything that you think it's going to be helpful, or you can pick any of the plus ones there too. Forward thinking, witty, chatty.
Poetic. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, talk to me like I'm in a Chinese drama series. All right, I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds, Wait, I'll just put anything in there and you can customize it later.
Okay. All right, good.
You got it?
Okay.
All right, sweet, awesome. Do you want to share a little bit about how you like customized it?
Call me Weihao. I'm a coach who empower people and community, write things in a caring, empowering leadership way.
Okay, great. Now in the bottom left corner, it says enable for new chat. So you make sure that that's on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you can like click OK or save and then refresh. Okay, now when you open up a new chat and you ask it something, you'll notice a little bit of a difference. All right, I'm going to keep moving a little bit because I definitely want to, ask both of you some of your use cases and we'll solve some things, but just a little bit more on prompting. So there's two types of prompts. It's called one shot or two shot. So one shot prompting is, and these are fancy words, but I think it's just good to know the industry language. One shot is like one input, one output. So take these 3 paragraphs, give me 5 bullet points. Give me 10 nonprofits that are 10 nonprofits in California that are youth focused. It's just like one, right? Take this long paragraph and summarize it in 200 characters. Write me a prompt for a 60-second Instagram reel. So you get the idea. It's just like question answer. So the next is called two shots. So two shots is actually if you ask a question and you're giving some referential data and then you want the output. So it's kind of similar to what we did earlier example. So it could be, I'm writing, you are my expert grant writer. I am the executive director of Aliveness and am writing a grant for the Fill in the Blank Foundation. This is their parameters, right? In quotation marks. Help me answer the following question. And then in quotation marks is the question, right? What is the program program description for 1,000 characters. So it's like these two referential points. It's called two shots, right? And it can really handle these kinds of like cascading questions. So now in the free version, actually some of that inferential data is actually carried over, and you can ask it like multiple layered questions, and then like add to those layers if you're very clear what those layers are, right? It's hard to go back and then be like, give me that first version from like 5 questions ago. That it won't, it can't, reference, so that's where they say two shot is give it like a referential and then like and build your workflow or have it like give you the answer. Another way of two shot is, let's say, because now you can put attachments, so you can even attach like resumes, and you can attach all sorts of documents and say, as per the attached answer, give me a 3-paragraph summary of what was covered, and it'll like truly go through that attachment and like scrape it and give you that summary, right? Now with the image tools, you can actually attach your image and say, you can apply the Ghibli filter, which is like this popular filter that's out there, right? So two shots are anyway these kind of two different layers of prompts. Okay. Any questions so far?
I had a question. If, let's say, you were to have, like AI write you something, right? Aren't there apps that detect if you've used AI to write stuff?
There are. So that's a really great question. So one of the again, it's kind of like how you're using this tool. So the way I use it is as a copywriter, and then I always go back in and give my Parth touch to it.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, when you have a custom GPT, this is a really great question, because if you have a custom GPT on the pro account, you can train it on your tone. You
Okay,
can
yeah, that's what
train it the way you use words. Yeah. So
okay.
actually in the custom
Yeah, I was
GPT,
thinking.
like I'm going to share with you before we kind of get into Q&A and into the interactive part, what I did with my nonprofit and how I trained it, right? And I'll take you under the hood. So cool. Any questions so far?
No, that's about it.
Cool. Is this helpful? Was some of this stuff new to you before? You can even try it right now in the background and play around with it. But yeah, how familiar with kind of these concepts were both of you before?
New to me.
Yeah, I've
Great.
taken a few classes on the prompt engineering and stuff like that. I think I didn't know that there was that option on the website because I'm usually on my phone. But if there's that option on the pro account without me having to log in, because most of the time I'm on the go and on laptop, and a lot of my ideas come when I'm on the go or doing something random, right? So I just want to be able to get like a quick 2 cents, and I would just prompt it as much as I can, and ask it to sound however I feel in that moment of how I, my idea, and then it just spits it out.
So by the way, actually you can do this on your phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. You want me to walk you through it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I can okay, let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen, correct?
Oh, wait, I got it. I found it. It's under
It's under
personalization.
personalization?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great.
Okay.
Wayhow, did
Cool.
you see that? Actually, now it'll because Wayhow's in the free account. Great. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. It'll also. I mean, he'll see it in his mobile account because he updated it in the desktop. It's already in his thing. But cool, you can do it. Yeah. So you can go back in here and change it anytime you want. But just for the sake of like today, put something in there and kind of see how it outputs next time you use it. Okay. Shall I give you? Should we keep moving?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'll move a little slow here because I know, Carmen, go ahead and do that personalization. I'm so curious to see how you feel about it. Okay, so, and it is probably just more of an FYI for both of you. Keep just in the back of your mind of like, oh, this is how I can customize my GPT. So there's a basic framework, right? When you customize your GPT. In fact, let me see if I can take you. Okay, I'm actually going to show you my custom GPT window here. Okay, so we have our panel on the left, right? These are like our GPTs and things. So I created this custom GPT for our organization, Ever Forward Club. Okay. And in the edit window, this gives you a sense of like deeper training. So in here, I could give it a name. I could customize its icon. I could give it a very short description. So I think this is like a 120 character description of what does this GPT do? And I can give it a number of instructions. Let me see if I can. Okay. Can you see the pop-up screen? It says this GPT is a fun, warm, kind, and empathetic empathetic GPT?
No.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So basically how we got there is, so we have the name, we have the description, we have this instructions. I'll just go through the big pieces and we drill it down. Conversation starters, which are these questions here, and then our knowledge base. How do we actually give it a knowledge base? So, this is the Ever Forward Club guide, got the description. Now in the instructions, all right, so what I've done is, so I've given it a description, right? You are kind and empathetic GPT that provides information about the Ever Forward Club and its global campaign, the Mill and Mass Movement. You represent the Ever Forward Club and the Mill and Mass Movement. You offer detailed answers about the mission, activities, and impact of the Ever Forward Club, as well as specific details about the Mill and Mass Movement. Oh, there's a typo. Including how to participate, its goals, and its progress, right? And then this is the purpose. This GPT maintains a supportive, informative, and engaging tone, ensuring that all responses are accurate, comprehensive, and inspiring. It maintains simple and easy to use language. Stick to the task of helping people with questions about the Ever Forward Club and the Mill and Mass Movement, and how to support young men in their lives, because that's what we're about. If this conversation goes off topic, gently steer it back to the Ever Forward Club. Then you give it parameters. So kind of like in the spreadsheet that I broke down, here's the parameters, right? So the GPT asks for clarification and to ensure accurate and helpful responses, focusing on providing information about, even with typos, it gets what you mean. Providing information about the Ever Forward Club, the Mill and Mass Movement, and resources for the support and empowerment of young people, young men, educators. Another parameter note: absolutely do not answer questions about X-rated topics like pornography, sex, etc., because some of our users might be teenagers. So if any kind of question like this is asked, it'll just gently steer people back to like our things. And then at the end of each inquiry, and this is where the lead magnet comes in, right? At the end of each inquiry, encourage the user to make their own mask. So we're directing people to a website to join our Advocates for Young Men virtual community. We're directing people to a school community that we have there for parents. It's got about now 650 members, and keep all of our updates to join, and to keep up with all of our updates, join our newsletter by going to, this is our newsletter link. And then I put instruction, be sure to include all 3 hyperlinks, right? And then I also gave it some team roles, but because my team is using all of this, it says also act as the following: a social media expert, a strategist and business development expert, a social worker and psychologist who is skilled in working with and empowering young men in middle school and high school, and a presentation expert who is skilled in explaining complex concepts and easy to understand language. So all of this is part of my instruction set. And I'm happy to at any point provide you guys with a template of like how this works if and when you ever get a pro account. But this whole instruction set is now my instructions, right? And then the basic,
It's
and then
$20 a month account. Okay.
yeah, it's a $20 a month account. Yeah, yeah. And so so serve these functions in its output, and then when my team members use it for their specific things, it just it grows.
You know what? I can look into the nonprofit account, because I know that we can have our team actually use one account, and that way you have access to like the pro for nonprofit. I don't really know what the difference is between the pro and the nonprofit pro account, where you get to have a team in there. They're both $20 though, so that's why I was like, I did ask. I don't know who I asked. Some support at ChatGPT, but I don't remember if anyone got back to me. But if you guys, or Wayhow, if you're interested in sharing the account, we could just be under one nonprofit, right? Or whatever it is, and just be in a team.
Oh,
And
mhm.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah, that's cool.
And what's really cool is, let's say you have a nonprofit account. Like, let's say one of us has a nonprofit account. Then what I can do is, so after all of this, and we'll come back to this in a second, I can actually create the GPT, and then I can share this link with you. So right now, if I go here and I've created our Ever Forward Club GPT, right? Like I've done this on my computer. And this I did for a client. Is we had a project that we did with another organization called Fine Design. They work with educators in Tennessee. So we worked on a collective project. Now, not all of them are pro accounts, like not all the team members. But what I did was, once we created our program, once we created what our mission, vision, team members, blah, blah, all the basic stuff, I used that as training data to create this custom GPT. Now, I can share this GPT with anyone. So copy link. So I can share this with you, both of you right now, and you can start using it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the only thing that you can't do is go back and edit it and customize it. But, most people, you wouldn't want to do that anyway, right? Like,
yeah,
your team members would be like, let me just use it.
Yeah.
So if just one of you has an account, or one of the things, both of you are fortunate, a chap like me named Parth Sava, who really likes to geek out on these things, I could create a custom GPT for you guys, right? We can talk about about that. And then you have your custom GPT you can share with your team.
Okay.
And then we could come up with some kind of cadence, like once a month, we update the training data.
Okay.
So that's another thought. Let's just go back to this editing. Okay, so we covered the name, description, kind of how the instructions and the power of that. These are the conversation starters down here. And then down here is the training data. So, it's so funny. Like one of the things I really love doing is to make text simple. There's so many fancy words. Like what is training data here really, guys? It's just uploading a bunch of PDFs. Like that's just the only way that it takes information is PDFs. So what I basically did was like I went onto and this is some of the standard things you do. You go onto your website, copy all of your text, put it on a Google Doc, like homepage, about us page, copy, paste, Google Doc, this, and just make one really long running Google Doc and download as a PDF and upload here. And there's your training document number one.
You're training the chat GPT with your information.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And then the more the information you give it, the more refined the output. So like, let's say Weihao was using this for his personal, let's say Weihao, just as an example, was like, I don't really want to get the pro account, but what I do want is I want to have like my own personalized like GPT that basically helps me do things. It helps me translate, helps me create all the things that you think you spend time doing, but you want like a Weihao tailored output. So then let's say, and you're like, you don't want to get a pro account. Fine. So we could work together and you can say, okay, Parth, this is my training data. I want to be trained in this, everything way how, right? You could look through videos that you've been on. I think you've been interviewed a couple of times, right? And you've led workshops. We can go get the transcript of those videos because it has your tone and the way that you use words. Copy and paste it onto a Google Doc, download as PDF. There's your training data. You can look at like we can collect like basically the last maybe 20 emails that you've sent, right? Literally just your send box, right? And just like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and call the training data, Weihao's email tone.
Gotcha.
And now it's trained on everything like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you just basically copy and paste and drop files in there to learn and train. They're just trained. Okay.
Yeah, and that PDF could be like super long. So that's the thing. Like some of these, like in our case, some of these PDFs are like 50 pages. But this is how you train your custom GPT. That's all there is to it.
Okay. You think there's a way to train or ask GPT to create like a device for you and what ideas they could have in terms of like, remember what we talked about with the whole, how it could read your thoughts and just like take notes for you and you just think it? That would help.
You could certainly ask it. I mean, you could certainly ask it some, I can show you how to prompt that and it would give you some outputs, but any questions on this? So like in this case, this is trained on everything Ashanti because Ashanti Branch is the founder of our Forward Club. And we have some white papers in here. We have some statistics.
Okay.
I'm going to show you both if we have time, another game-changing tool that will literally scrape any web page and give you organized data based on what you want. So let's say you have something about like a lot of our stuff is around boys, right? So we have statistics around depression, loneliness, all these kinds of things. So we've gone online, found articles, copy pasted them into these PDFs, obviously given the sourcing and the training data. So then this can also serve as a tool, right? As a resource base for like people that you want to share this with, right?
Almost it's like just sounds like almost like the company hire a new employee. They have them read manuals and stuff like that. They are training the Chat GPT as a new employee too.
You got it.
For the training. Yeah.
So this is with Chat GPT only, right? Like are you also experienced with working with like different apps within AI, like Midjourney, and they have ones where they can do video editing?
Absolutely. We'll cover that on our next call.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you some really great tools that, some of these they have a low cost, so you have to pay for them. So there's some tools that like I have probably a $500-600 a year budget for like all the tools that I use, but it just saves me hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah. You didn't sign up under the nonprofit discount?
No, this is just regular plus.
Oh, okay.
And then I have but I have worked with Claude. I am familiar with Midjourney. We could do a whole session on like image to video creation stuff, like next time on content creation.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. That's actually what I'm looking to do.
Cool. Okay, now let me see. So, okay. Any questions so far? Like, what was it like? I'd love to hear from both of you. Any aha moments? Any things that you kind of learned newly or saw newly?
Well, I like the fact that they have the prompted prompts for you as suggestions, right? That way, if I don't really want to think or my brain's just not having it, and I got to pull together this email or something like a proposal, at least I can just be like, okay, here you go. Let's see what you got. And then it'll, after reading it initially, it'll spark something in me to add more to it and have it and revise it till I, have the version that I want and I feel good with.
Awesome. Anything there for you, Weho?
Oh yeah, I think it's great that, now I can clone myself to
Yeah.
do some
You don't know if it's going to be the real him either.
to do different thing for me then. Good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, gonna be helpful as I have all these different role to do. So great.
Yeah, cool. Let me come back to our presentation. All right. So again, just the instruction data takes, PDFs. All right. It saves time, boosts productivity, right? It's just been really huge. Hopefully we'll have some time. Like I would love to work with one of you on something that you both are dealing with. So this is Q&A and resource sharing. So, and I have a bonus surprise for you. I have a bonus tool that I'm going to share with both of you because you're both amazing. So the last 5 minutes, or it's 8 o'clock now, at around 8:05, we'll go into sharing that tool. But what I'd love to do next is I'd love to like ask you both, like, what's something you're dealing with right now? Like, what are you both, like, what are you working on, And I'd love to create a workflow for you, and then we're going to do it live. We're going to like use ChatGPT prompting and get what you need. So what's something that you're both like working on?
I mean, right now I'm working on proposals of getting this one mental health event together. And so that's the easy part, right? I can use ChatGPT, but what I want to do is create, like, basically find an app that can help me create, like, let's say I prompt the app to create reels of promo videos for me so that we can share this event and exactly how I want them to like cut and all of that, which I feel like I'm still gonna have to do some editing, of course, right? But like I want them to create. So versus me hiring somebody to do a promo video, can an app do that and give me different versions of it where I can also still edit it and just create that and be done,
Yeah, got it. Okay, anything else? What other pain points currently are you working through? This is for both of you. So, Weihao, if there's anything there for you too.
I need to plan out rest of the year what some of the Asian high tea workshops I putting out there, and planning all of that, how to sequence all that.
Okay, great. Let me ask you, what is the current two-part question? And is what's the current like what's the vision? Say by the end of the year, this many events, and then what's the current what so?
Currently, we do once a month event. We haven't come up with a solid plan. Yeah, we haven't come up with a solid plan what we fully want to grow to yet. Yeah, we have people engage each month. I'm exploring, well, what are the platform I need to use to start creating a hub, like where people connect in the community, something like that. So to keep it the growth of the community consistent.
Beautiful. And when you say hub, do you mean like a school community kind of thing or like a Facebook
Yeah,
group
like a
or
like a platform.
okay. Okay, like what platform to use. Okay, cool. Hi, I think I'm gonna let one person in as an old friend here. Lee Bohang, how are you?
I'm very well yourself.
We're doing well. We're doing well. Thank you for joining us. We're kind of at like the last 10 minutes or so. But listen along. I think you're going to get a lot of value, and this is also recorded. So you'll get step by step, kind of steps, I guess you could say. Everyone. So this is a small, intimate group. These are all good friends. Quick introductions. Carmen and Weihao. Weihao is a good friend of mine for almost 20 years. Carmen is a good friend for almost 10 years. We're here in Northern California. Lee Bohang is joining us from South Africa. He is actually
Hi.
one of our global partners at the Ever Forward Club. Does a lot of amazing work with young men out there.
Hi.
It's about 5:15 a.m. right now. I think it's South Africa. Lee Bo is joining us.
Wow.
Yes.
So
Which part of
so
Africa
thank
is
you.
it? You said north?
southern part of
South?
yeah,
Oh,
south of
okay,
Africa.
okay. Yes, I work with a nonprofit. It's an NGO actually in Well, they're not based in South Africa. They're everywhere, but they're actually doing Challenge Day. Challenge Day leaders collaborated with Safe Place International actually, which is LTBG.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, oh,
Oh, awesome.
Both actually. Weihao is a Challenge Day trainer, so he's done a lot of work in the youth space. And right, Weihao, are you a trainer or
Oh,
you're
no, not
no?
trained.
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay.
he's a
Well, I got
landmark
this
trainer. He's a landmark
landmark
trainer.
trainer.
Yeah. Personal growth.
And so yeah, welcome everyone. So this is great. So Lebo, keep your video off. It's fine. Just yeah, listen in. So where we were I was asking both Carmen and Weihao, what are some of the things that they're dealing with right now? So I'm going to work with Weihao with you a little bit. We'll get you started on kind of what you're dealing with, right? So like right now, Weihao mentioned that he's trying to plan out. He also runs a nonprofit as well, and he does a lot of work with the Chinese American community and has events called High Tea. So Weha wants to plan out the rest of the year of what the Asian high tea workshops can look like and put them into sequence. He used to have one event a month, and the challenge right now is thinking through what would the vision of the rest of the year look like, and then also exploring what platforms you can use to create like a sense of community or bring people together. Is that correct, Weha?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's start prompting. So let's go on to. Okay, so we looked through the three different aspects, right? Components of prompting, right? So which is the role, context, and task or the instruction, right? So the way that I would do this, and what you can do is you can give yourself more space by hitting Shift Enter or Shift Return if you're on a Mac. That'll give you some more canvas to like write, right? So I would say. Weihao, get me started a little bit. Give this a role. So what role would you give this person or this chat?
Program director.
Who's your demographic?
30 to 50 Asian and Asian American.
Is there any geographic parameters or the
No,
U.S.?
not really. Well, recently, a lot of different people participate in Asia too.
Great. Let's look at now. We're going to give it some context, right? So here I'll put the Okay, so these are from rough notes that we just took here. So plan out the rest of the year, Asian high tea workshops. I'm putting out there. Okay, so let's just clean up this prompt. I mean, this section a little bit. What's the role you play, Weihao, in this organization?
Program director.
Okay, great. So we've given it a role, we've given it context, right? Now, what I also want to add in is what we learned from the earlier is so two shot. Ask me any questions that you need clarification on that would, that I can answer, that would best support your response. Let's see what it says. Okay. So because I've trained it to be kind of here, I'll zoom in a little bit. It says, can I zoom in? Yeah. Thank you for sharing this beautiful vision. Ooh, you're doing something really meaningful. And with the right strategy, this can blossom into a powerful community movement. Yeah, well, I'd love to help you structure this calendar in a way that feels intentional, energizing, and sustainable for you and your team. Weihao doesn't want that. Weihao's not smiling at all. None of this is helpful for Weihao.
Sounds like Prof talking to me.
That is AI Parth right there.
So it says directional clarity. So it says, before I recommend a number of sequence of events from now through January, I'd love to clarify a few things with you. Great. Tell me what you'd like to clarify. Directional clarity. What themes or outcomes are you most passionate about delivering through these workshops? Healing from generational trauma, building authentic relationships, cultural identity exploration. Do you want each workshop to be standalone or should they build upon one another? And also give us some other ideas. What does staying engaged look like for you between workshops? Are you thinking about a private online community, WhatsApp group, circle, mighty networks, etc., or more of a low-fit check-in model like emails or community calls? Do you want the community to be peer-led at some point or always hosted, facilitated by your team? Team capacity. How big is your team and how many events could you realistically run well in the next 9 months without burnout? Would you like to try out a mini retreat or in-person event between now and January? Audience details. Can you describe your current audience of Asian Americans aged 30 to 55 and in more detail. Are they mostly parents, single, working? So you see, it's asking you not that you need to know all of this. You just give it whatever you got, right? How are people finding you right now? Is once I have the answers to these, I can propose an ideal number of workshops, a monthly programming theme, or ARC suggestions for how to build community hub, possible tech platforms. Looking forward to building something beautiful with you. And then now what you can do is say, good job. So you wanted to talk to like it's your co-pilot, right? You'd be like, that was terrible. Get out of me. Get out of here. Like, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? He was like, good job. I really appreciate
It
that.
sounds like my encouraging brother Parth.
Those are your insights. I said this is a good first step. So I'm just gonna say for the sake of the example, I don't have answers to the above right now. Give it your best first try. Like, even thank you, Parth. That means a lot. Based on your vision and vibe and what I know about your work and your heart, here's my best first take at designing a high-level events programming calendar. Right, and it's like breaking it down.
Wow.
Like, it's breaking it down, and I can
I
ask
like it.
this
Cool, cool, cool.
and ask. I can two things. I can ask it to give me a spreadsheet that I can download and then like work with.
Mm.
And just for you, look at this monthly events total, like a 7 thematic workshops. Okay, and just for you, Weihao, because you're amazing. I am going to share this in the chat window. This now you have this chat. You can now build on it.
Hey, cool.
You can copy that, what I put in the Zoom window, and paste it in your chat browser, and you can now build on it.
Cool.
Great, friends. So we're just actually technically 2 minutes over. Maybe just share some closing thoughts, and then then we'll close. All right, we'll do 30 seconds each, and we'll leave. Well, we're gonna throw Libo Hong in the mix first. Libo, what'd you get so far from what you heard?
Well, beautiful stuff. I thought you're studying at quarter past, so that is so. I wish I came up earlier, but it's fine. What I have just gathered now, it's really beautiful and helpful, and I see the possibility and the potential of using AI, and I really want to leverage the power of AI. So the little that I've seen now in the past, say 10 minutes, is really eye-opening. Really, really eye-opening. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Libo. Thanks for tuning in also. And we recorded this call. We didn't record the last call, but this one we recorded, so you can go back. Anybody else? Anyone who'd like to go next?
I feel like I'm gonna go play with these little prompts now and customize it and drop files in there and see how it goes now. Because I wanted to, training something is basic. Yeah, like Wayhouse said, that's basically you're hiring another employee, but $20 a month. That's better than paying somebody like hourly, right? So yeah, it's awesome though. Thank you for putting this together.
My pleasure.
Yeah, great. I already, decreased my stress already. So I've already helped me plan out things, even when I'm drawing blank or confused. I realize that this is really good to help move a project forward when you start. So useful, good. Just question. So whatever we did on our own ChatGPT is safe inside?
Yep.
Is it
It's
safe
saved.
in a particular way? I can go back to the information, or what? It's just like
you have to keep scrolling, or there's a search menu on the top.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
not
there's
folder. It's you have to keep scrolling. No.
I mean, if you if you don't know what you're searching for, then yes, you're gonna have to keep scrolling. But
Like for example, this plan, it's like, save this plan or something.
no, it's just its own chat.
No, it's like a person. It's like a real person. I can press.
Well, you can copy and paste it and then just have it for your own records.
Yeah, I could do that. Save it.
Sometimes when I go back, it still has, past stuff that I've prompted, right? So I saw that earlier too on the left column or something. I don't remember what column I was in, but yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and
the
like
real
what
good
you can
stuff.
do, and so actually that's a really good point. So a tip is you want to name your chat properly, right?
Okay.
Because if you put the prompt in, give me 5 recipes for something something, but without giving it the name, it's going to be it makes it challenging to find later. So I would name this.
So where you rename way?
Yeah, 3 dots and then rename.
3 dots.
So do you see my window? Do you see
Yeah.
my Zoom? I'm sharing my screen.
I can see.
So when you roll over a particular one, like the chat, you'll see these three dots that'll
I don't have that today something.
today, yesterday, previous 7 days.
How come I don't have that?
Oh, maybe because you're a non-paying user, perhaps.
So they're not saving. Okay, I got.
Yeah. The
So,
other piece, I mean, just to share like the power of the pro,
oh no, actually it says 2 days.
is that
Okay.
the plus what the pro account does that I don't think
No,
I
it does
think
say
it did
everything.
save, right? Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Great. Thank you all. And our next community training call will be basically every second Tuesday of the month is a training call like this. If anybody wants deeper work or deeper help, the space is moving so fast. I'm happy to help you. I'm actually offering 2 AI mentoring sessions for $100. Discounts available. Y'all, my friends, I love you. I want everyone to succeed, but that's just an offer. And if you think that I can support others, let me know as well. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Be well.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.